On today's episode, guys, we're going to take a look at ticket prices. Is it too much now? Also, Austin Theory, is he being fumbled? What's going on with him? Bad interactions at airports, at eateries, and in the public. How much is too much? Also, we're going to cover general topics and guys and gals, we're going to add something new to this. Chance's Corner, guys, you got to listen to the show to find out what that's all about. So strap in. Thank you for letting us into your ears. Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Samp&Chance. I am your host, Bobby Sampson, joined as always, my man with the master plan, Mr. Chance Michaels. Chance, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. Yourself?
Can't complain, man. It is what it is. Here we are. Weather is starting to shift now. Now I'm wondering how long I have left in shorts.
You got a couple of days. It's not too bad. It's about 20 out, but it's getting there.
You know, here's the funny thing about shorts to me. I mean, if I was outside all the time, like back in the day when I was a kid, I'd wear shorts almost year round.
Yeah.
But, you're outside, you're on the bus, whatever. But now it's a little different because really, how much am I exposed to the cold elements? I mean, walking to and from my car.
Yeah, good point.
It warms up until I get into the place that I need to go. So, I mean, I could probably pull off shorts for the rest of the year and all year round. But I think age has also got a factor in this, man. I get colder quicker. I don't know.
As you get older, you get colder quicker. That's true. Yeah.
Right. So I'm figuring last year I lasted till the end of September. I'm hoping I can pull it off. But if the farmer Alamac has anything to do with anything, they're saying we're going to have a really cold winter this year.
That's what they said. I didn't hear that, but yeah, it could be.
Now, let's find out. But hey, let's get right into it, man. And we got some really interesting topics that we're going to break down here today. So let's start with the first one. Ticket prices for live events and premium events in WWE. And I'm sure this is the case across the board for concerts and other sporting events. How much is too much, bro? And we're talking about this because tickets for Survivor Series for Vancouver went on sale here last week. I procured 3. I'm not going to tell you how much I paid for them, but I mean, considering how much I paid for my ticket for the Royal Rumble in Arizona, not, maybe 4 years ago, my God, they're just astronomical. It's just, what's Ari doing?
Well, this is what TKO does. They do with UFC. Their prices are through the roof for UFC events. The prices were so high for the UFC at the Sphere, they had to bring them down because they weren't selling it. We're talking $700-800 American for Upper Bowl. That's outrageous.
Yeah.
And WWE, Ari, TKO is doing the same thing. The one thing people don't understand is McMahon kept WWE family friendly and family affordable. You could have a few years ago went to Survivor Series for $200-300 with the tickets, the food, and parking and everything. I went to Elimination Chamber when McMahon still owed it. SmackDown and Elimination Chamber for $80 a ticket. That includes both nights. You can't beat that price. Now, $200-300 is for Upper Bowl if you're lucky. Bottom Bowl is $1,400 and on for Survivor.
My last pay-per-view, I guess, would have to be, the WrestleMania 26 that I attended. Yeah, I've been to house shows. Yeah, I've been to Raws and SmackDowns after that. But Survivor Royal Rumble would have been my last major show, right? At that time, 4 years ago, granted, I paid $100 US for that ticket, but it was lower bowl, like really lower bowl, great seat. That ticket here for that same area was almost $1,500 now. Canadian.
And when I went to Allegiant Stadium, I went for the Pacquiao fight. Just so happened SummerSlam was on the same day. I got into SummerSlam for $30 American. Upper Bowl, but still.
Yeah. Well, WrestleMania, that's what I was saying. I went with a group of 4 people for that WrestleMania in Arizona. We paid $40 each. Yeah, we were lower Upper Bowl, but I mean, $40 for WrestleMania.
Yeah, see, McMahon knew you keep it family friendly because he knew wrestling is for the kids. You want your mom and dad to come or whatever, you single parent, whatever, but you want to bring your kid. Now it's like, well, how can you do that? A lot of people can't do that. And it's becoming outrageous, and Ari's bringing it to UFC level of prices, which will drive away kids from wanting to come to live events. Because McMahon's theory was, if you can come watch us live, I got you hooked to watch you on Monday and Friday. Yeah. But if the kids aren't coming live, they might not want to turn you on the TV. They're making a huge mistake.
That's a huge part, and I think that's something that someone needs to explain to Ari, that this is still family-oriented entertainment. This is still for the kids, right? And like to your point, like you said, kids won't want to come. Kids will come regardless, right? It's just the parents don't want to pay that.
That's what I mean. The parents will want to bring the kid for the price. But here's the thing: if McMahon was still the chairman of the board, he could tell Ari, hey, no, this is not a good idea, dude. But
No,
and now
and
they're
it's
cutting
all,
back on the house shows
yeah,
because it's not making the money. But what are they going to do to the money that they lose marginally there? They're going to bring the ticket price up to even that out. So
no.
everybody that cheered on McMahon to go away, you're
Hey,
kicking yourselves now.
well, everyone is going to have to kick themselves. These are the little things that we've talked about through the
Mhm.
years as we've been doing this about Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
This is the things that he brings. Is he, is he dodgy in some ways? Yeah, sure. Who isn't dodgy, right?
Mhm.
But the reality of it is, whatever he's done bad, and we're not condoning it, guys and gals. We're not saying Vince McMahon was in the right for the things that he's being accused of. But
Mhm.
he never did anything wrong. It was all consensual. It was all on the level. Everyone was happy. Everyone was taking the money when it was there. Everyone just
Yeah.
starts complaining when the money stopped, right?
Yeah.
So, forget that. But the things that he brought to the program, no one ever talks about the things that he did for a lot of the guys that were back there.
And
The
women.
support
No.
that he gave and the women. You weren't even on the roster. How many times did he put Razor Ramon, Scott Hall into rehab, even though he wasn't even a part of his roster or his, payroll?
Yeah. Jake
He went
Roberts, all kinds of guys. He paid for all
all
the
of
rate.
them. He
Yeah.
tried to help everyone he possibly can in the best way. You burn the guy, he's going to shit on you.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not going to be, well, I'm going to give you a second chance. You burn him, he'll let you go. Rocky Johnson's a prime example of that. The guy
Yeah.
flew all the way to work for a promoter in Saudi Arabia. He lost the opportunity at WrestleMania 1. He lost so many other opportunities. Who knows where he could have gone, right?
Yeah.
So it's a business. I get it, but he made it feasible for everyone to
Made
attend.
it affordable so anybody could go who wanted to enjoy some wrestling.
But
And let's
if
be
you
honest, wrestling's a carnival. So it got to
look,
be affordable
it's
to
a
get in there. You
carnival,
know?
and just based on the people that attend shows generally, and I don't mean this in a bad way. I'm not saying that, maybe we're economically a bit more secure, and economically we're a bit more, we're more comfortable, correct?
Correct.
We're not, fuck you money guys or anything
We're
like
middle
that.
class guys. Yeah.
We're okay. We don't have to
Yeah.
worry about where we're going to sleep. We don't have to worry about, opening that can of tuna. Oh, wait a minute, can I afford to do that today? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't
Yeah.
have those thoughts in our head. But 60% of the people that attend these shows are people that save up for the whole year just for
Mhm.
this moment. And we're talking a segment of the population that dresses up to go to Denny's or Red Robin's, and that's a big meal out.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing. That's no disrespect. You work
But we're
hard,
just laying it in, we're putting it in context. The
right?
prices for WWE are through the roof. They're
Yeah.
insane. They got to bring them down. It's he's going to drive away kids and families from coming to live shows. And right now the business is hot, but if you keep these prices up,
Right.
it won't last forever.
And I think that philosophy can work in the UFC because of the segment of the population that you're attracting and the kind of people that will be coming to those shows. How many kids do you see in a crowd at a UFC show? Ever?
Not a whole bunch, way more at the wrestling shows for
Well, but
sure.
the kids that are at the UFC show are usually the kids of the guys fighting or family and friends, right? You don't, you do the, when they do the pad of the crowd, you don't see kids in the crowd.
Not usually, no.
Right, you see affliction shirts, you see all those kind of, those kind of dudes, and the women dressed up to the nines, and that the UFC crowd. Family is WWE. Wrestling in general is family.
Yeah.
So you're gonna lose a lot more than you're bargaining for here. And I almost feel that they're doing these ticket prices the way they are. It's almost to make up for what he spent on WWE.
Yeah, he might be trying to yeah, maybe, but he needs to realize he's a super smart guy.
Yeah.
You keep these ticket prices like this on the pay-per-views, yeah, you're going to lose a lot of fans and turn people off because it's $1,000 a night now to go at least.
Well, okay, I'll tell
And
you
that's
what.
an upper bowl.
Let's just end it here with this, okay? Again, I'm not gonna say what I paid for them, but based on everyone that I've talked to around me that were trying to go for tickets, including yourself, said that I got a really good deal. Like I got them on the pre-sale, right? And let's just say that the service charges is what really kills you. So I went back and took a look at the resale market. Those 3 tickets that I have, I could turn a profit of close to $2,000 on my tickets right now.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, it's a hot ticket.
So make my money back, plus make maybe an average of 1,500 on top of it if I really wanted to.
Yeah, I believe it. Ticket
Part of
prices
me-
are through the roof, man.
Right. But hey, you know what? It's once in a while. I mean, I guess after this, we got WrestleMania that we're going to look forward to. But yeah, it's a gouging. And then the house shows are no cheaper either, bro.
No, this is what TKO is doing now. There's a whole new regime, a whole new mindset, and it's a mindset they continue on this trajectory, will backfire on them. It's not
I
going to
can
work with
tell
wrestling.
you, I can tell you this. We spent $500 for our summer or for our SmackDown tickets for 3.
Well, yeah, about 150 a ticket. Yeah.
And then the service charges though.
Yeah.
Right. So each ticket was like 100, but those service charges is what brought it up to 500.
Yeah.
All right, brother man.
Even $100 was never the case when McMahon owned it at SmackDown ever. It's crazy. Unless you're sitting like right up to close.
There you go. All right. Next thing we want to talk about is Austin Theory. I think we're both in agreement here. This guy's future is so bright. I just don't understand what they're doing with him. Even I don't understand what they're doing with him. You know what I mean? Like, how many more times are Randy Orton and Kevin Owens fight these guys? Like,
I know, and beat them every time
and over and over again since WrestleMania. How many times have we seen this? Like,
has Waller and Theory even ever beat them once? I don't think they have they?
Off the top of my head, I don't think so. No.
And the thing is that Theory's, I mean, Waller's probably about the same age, but Theory's so young. He's not even 30 yet. He's built. He looks good. He wrestles good. He's got charisma, and he keeps losing in tag team matches. And it's just like, I think it could be maybe spiteful booking. Like, hey, you were Vinny's boy. You were like, selfie stick and the pretty boy, the next guy, main eventing WrestleMania with Vince, or co-main event, whatever that was, against McAfee and that. We're going to show you. It's a new era now. We're not going to give you that. Could be a slight at Vinny. I think it might be.
Maybe, but
I don't know. But that's, they've got to put that professional bias aside. Look at the guy. Look at the talent. Give him the chance.
If that's the case, and we don't know, we
don't know. I'm just assuming,
right?
Yeah.
We're just assuming and speculating. If that's the case, that's really wrong. Because if you think about it, and I know you're not a huge NXT guy, but I've watched him since he's been on the scene, like the early days of NXT where he was there. He's done everything they've asked him to do. He's played every character they've asked him to play. But I believe this is just a really slow story that should have probably been moved a little bit quicker.
Way too slow.
Right? Because we're getting this breakup eventually, and we're going to see Theory as a face. And I think hopefully this is that pivotal turning point for him, because they're short of faces, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I do truly believe that him and Braun Breaker, one of these two guys, is going to be the flag bearer for this company going forward. After Roman Reigns is done, the next guy in line is one of these two, in my opinion. I just don't see anyone else right now coming up that can carry this company where these two guys can. One can be the face, one can be the heel. These are going to be the guys that are going to chase each other. And this is the way I see it. So let's see how this happens. I mean,
you could see with what McMahon was going to do with Theory. When we had John Cena, everybody hated him. He sucks. He's the worst. We had Roman Reigns. Everybody hated him.
Yeah.
Oh, he's McMahon's, but now we love him. Same thing McMahon was going to do with Theory. He wasn't even the next Reigns and Cena, but now he's out. So I don't know what they're going to do with him. I got a feeling they're going to keep him mid-card level. I don't think they're going to push him, because I'm looking at the guys they're pushing, and it's the Pete Dunnes, it's the Sami Zayn's, it's the JD McDonough's, the little guys, more of the in-ring AEW flippy floppy stuff. So I don't think they're going to be pushing guys like Theory. And I hope I'm dead wrong on this, but it doesn't look.
I think when you look at Sami Zayn, you got to keep in mind here also where we're at in time, right? Like, look at Sami, look at Kevin, look at Jey Uso, look at the Usos even. They're the veterans now. They're legit the veteran guys. They're the old guys on the roster now, right? So, they're not going to be around that much longer. You look at maybe in the next 3 to 5 years, you're going to see these guys retiring.
Mm.
So I don't, maybe for the time being, you're going to get the last little squeezes out of those guys that you mentioned. But ultimately, I believe that you're looking at the future of those two guys in particular that are going to be, the light of it all. I mean, it was evident because Jey Uso said to Braun Breaker in their promo last night, like, I've been here 19 years. You were still in diapers when I was wrestling here. So we forget how, like, they look young, but man, the Usos have been there forever.
Well. Huh?
Right? The Usos have been there forever.
They're a long time.
New Day's been there for a long time. Like, Kofi's a veteran. Like, he's the elder statesman. Like, the guys like Kofi, Randy, the Usos, they're those older guys now. They're, like Seth is going to be up there. Roman is up there, where they were the young bloods when we were seeing the final, where John Cena and Triple H and all those guys were kind of where they were, sort of a deal. So it's just that evolution. But let's see, man. I hope they do better with
We got to see that. We got to see the new regime. I'm not blaming everything on Triple H because Bruce Pritchard's there, Ari's there. There's a lot of other guys. He's not the be all end all, but they haven't created one new star since Vinny's been gone. Let's see what they can create. Vinny's been gone a year now, whatever, since he's been out of creative, year and a half since he's been out of creative. 6 months since he's been out of chairman. So they haven't made one star yet. They're still using the guys that Vinny brought in, that Vinny hired, Vinny signed. We haven't seen them create
that's
a star.
not true. That's not true. That Braun Breaker
he's not a star though.
Yeah, but not yet. But he's coming up there.
But
man.
he was still under the Vinny regime though. He was in NXT, right?
He was, but Vince didn't really have his pulse on NXT.
No, I know, but he's not a star. So they haven't made a star yet, and that's how you judge the bookers and the creative guys. Let's see what kind of stars you guys can make. You're using the old stars that Vinny made.
Yeah, but I mean that's what it is. Let's see what they do. It's kind of like a hockey team, right? Like I mean, it's kind of like that coach or general manager who joins the team,
But what I've noticed with this new regime, it's 50-50 booking. You go 10 paces forward and they take you 10 paces back. Example, Sammy and Gunther. Sammy beat Gunther. Now Gunther is going to be challenged by Sammy. It's 50-50 booking. It's kind of weird with how they book now, but they haven't made any new stars and they keep pushing the older guys. So let's see if they can create some stars and that'll judge the quality of this new regime.
Let's check it out, man. Let's see what we come up with, right? I mean, but like I was trying to say to you, it's kind of like that hockey coach that comes in and wins the Stanley Cup with the team, right?
Yeah.
Or the general manager who comes in midseason and wins the cup that year. I mean, did he really win it? Did that coach really win it? Or was it what was left behind for them, right?
Yeah.
So,
I agree.
So it's kind of like that. So now it's like, let's see what they do. Let's see what they do. Right. All right, brother man. Let's move on to the next one. This one's kind of interesting. I think we have different takes, but we're kind of the same on it. Fan interactions in public. When is too much, like CM Punk recently just came out very polite, very nice, just saying, hey, listen, like there's boundaries. There's like, there's points where we're okay with it, but there's sometimes where we just need to have a little time on our own. Now, I know where you're coming from. I get it. So why don't you say your piece and then I'll rebuttal you.
Of all the guys that whine and complain, it's the biggest crybaby since Bret Hart in wrestling, CM Punk. All the guy does is whine and cry. And by the way, before I get to my opinion on that, I hope he's not sick. I don't know if you've seen him on Raw yesterday when he was right up in the camera. Those bags and that redness under his eyes. I don't know if he's got a health problem. I don't know if it's lack of sleep and stress. I hope. Like I don't like him professionally at all, but personally, I hope he's okay. I hope he's healthy because he does not look well.
I think that was makeup.
Big red bags under those eyes like that.
Yeah. Some makeup.
He's always kind of had them, but something. I don't know if it's health wise. He's just not sleeping well. He's stressed out because he's a stressful guy. He's angry. Yeah. He's bitter. He's always whining. He's just an angry man. So back to the original question. Of course, that guy's going to complain of all the guys to complain, right? He's right and he's wrong. When you're a public figure and you're well known, people don't know when you want your space. So if you're grabbing your bags out of the airport and people come up and you want an autograph, that's just too damn bad, dude. You became a millionaire because of people like that. Now, if they're following you around, harassing you, threatening you, that's different. But if you're having a meal, some fans don't know if you need to wait. We eat your steak, we're going to come up to you. They don't care. They figure we made you. We want an autograph. You're known. That's just part of being a public figure. Not saying it's right, but I have no problem with celebrities being bugged in public as long as nobody's hurting them or threatening them. That's the price you pay to be a millionaire. If you don't like it, go dig a ditch on the construction site.
Okay, and I completely agree with you, and I can agree with that as well. But it seems unfortunate that there's some times where I think boundaries should be met, right? Like, okay, logic has to prevail here. If you're having dinner with your family, don't bother someone while they're eating. That's just a given. It doesn't matter if you're a celebrity or not. You don't do that to anybody. You just don't. It's just something you're taught as a kid. Like, respect people when they're having their meal. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? I think you can say, hey, listen, I'm more than willing to interact with you guys after I'm done my meal. But it's the people who don't listen to that and still be persistent. I think that's where these guys get upset, right? Also, I also feel that, just at the airport thing, like you said, if you start following the guy around after he's asked, hey, can I have some space? And they don't stop, right? I get it. You signed up for this. You're being followed because these are the people that are making you famous. And I understand that. But I think fans also have to respect the boundaries. And that's all, there's nothing wrong with that.
The thing is, most wrestling fans, what is CM Punk known for? Being a wrestler, and he's in that comic book world. Well, the two of the most obscure,
Yeah.
strange people ever. So they don't understand boundaries.
No,
So
no,
he
no.
has to understand that.
Yeah, I get that, right? But I don't think he's wrong, and I'm not going to go
And
and.
by him coming out and doing that, guess what? People are going to bug him more now.
But see,
It
he's
should
not
have
the
been
only one who's
quiet.
done that. Other wrestlers have done the same. Like
No,
Rhea
I know, but
Ripley.
most recently, he's the most guy to do it
Right,
recently,
right. But
and he's
Rhea,
such a whiny, bratty guy that he's the kind of guy that people will just want to bug anyway. So because
yeah.
the way he carries himself, right? So
Well,
he's
I'll
right
tell you,
in a way, and he's wrong in a way.
yeah.
It's
Well,
unfortunate, but
I mean, for me personally, like I said, it's common sense. Okay. When I was in Portland one time, WWE was there. The hotel that we were staying at was incidentally the same hotel that they were at. Right. So I walked into the lobby and I saw Mark Henry eating dinner.
mm-hmm,
I could have gone up to him. He was just sitting there by himself, but I didn't disturb him.
mm-hmm.
He saw me. I saw him. I gave him that acknowledgement. And you know what? He was more than willing to talk to me afterwards. And we probably had a better conversation because you show him that little respect as well, right?
Yeah,
So
but that's you're talking about people with common sense. Most wrestling fans and
yeah, I know,
comic
no,
book
I get
people
it.
aren't
I get
like
it.
that. And CM
Well,
Punk has
I'm hoping wrestling fans who hear this segment will gain a little common sense.
yeah.
That's all I'm
And one
saying.
more thing about CM Punk, we're talking about something is not right with him. That
No, I
those
was going to
bags
tell you
like
about that.
that.
I think that was makeup because of the storyline and the way he was delivering his
No, that
promo
wasn't makeup.
tonight.
If you look at the last few Raws, these always had that, but now they're getting really bad. So
Oh, I'll
maybe it's
take a look.
stress, lack of sleep, but he's
Maybe
something's wrong with him.
I'll take a
Another
look.
thing, while we're talking about that guy, that promo was so weak. It was so placating to the crowd. But I thought Drew missed an opportunity there because CM Punk, he's like a drama queen. I'm gonna die in the cage, and
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
can kill me, like all that drama. All Drew had to say was this: "What happened the last time you were in the cage?" If Drew's being the true, what happened last time you're in the cage? You did almost get killed. You got your butt kicked twice in UFC. You don't deserve to be in this cage. They didn't even play on that angle at all, and that's just a lack of creative and lack
Well,
of
I mean, UFC cage is different from a Hell in a Cell, though, man.
still a cage, and he still got his butt whooped.
Yeah, but that was real. This is fucking.
Doesn't matter. They're pretending that this is real because I'll die in here. So if he's going to be that extreme, Drew should be that extreme too. Last time you're in a cage, you got your butt whooped twice. You don't
Well,
deserve to be in a cage, but just lazy writing. And that promo was so weak and pathetic.
brother, I don't know how to comment to that one, but okay. Okay, fair play, fair play. All right, brother, man. I tell you what, let's keep going here. You know what? AEW has signed. Well, it hasn't been announced yet, but I mean, they had the whole field to play here in terms of their broadcast rights and everything. They could have gone anywhere, but they're staying with TBS and Time Warner. I feel that they're missing out on opportunities to expand themselves. I mean, Time Warner, TBS is still very localized. Whereas if they went with Fox or if they went with anyone else, they would have probably had more of a range. I don't know. That's just my opinion. And you know what? With WWE pulling all their programming to go to Netflix, I mean, this is an opportunity for Fox, for USA to pick up this property because let's be honest, at the end of the day, regardless of how low the rankings are outside of sporting events, their ratings are higher than most of the programming they have on a daily basis. I mean, for USA, Raw is their highest ranked program out of everything they do.
Yeah, well,
Fox,
the thing is that the
SmackDown,
network execs don't want AEW. They're not going to pay big money to get 400,000 or 500,000 people. Sorry, 500,000 people. They get about 800,000 people
no,
watching.
I get it,
So
but the
for them,
opportunity
it's
was
not
there.
worth the money that they pay.
Yeah,
Time Warner's probably going to pay more money, and they're okay with the low ratings. And AEW is never going to grow their product. Doesn't matter what network you put them on. You could put them on CBS on their biggest primetime slot at 6 p.m. They're not
yeah.
going to grow their audience. When you're putting out a product like that, it's not going to grow. And I think Tony Khan's accepted that we have a niche market of hardcore base of fans that are very loyal, and we're good with that. I don't
Yeah.
think he's even thinking of expanding because if he was, some of the guys he has main eventing and the way he's booking wouldn't be there. So I don't think
Honestly,
he's thinking big picture, personally.
I'm looking at AEW like this now. It's an opportunity for talent to go somewhere else. And really that's all it truly is. And honestly, at the end of the day, it looks like the type of place where WWE can take their top talent when they're ready for them. You know what I mean? It's almost like a waiting ground for the top guys like MJF. I guess really all we're waiting for when it comes to MJF is when is he going to sign with WWE? You know
He's
what I
got the
mean?
AEW tattoo. He might be a loyalist. He might just be one of
Well,
those
maybe
guys.
he might be this generation Sting. Who knows? But like that, those are the kind of things that I look at now when I compare the two. It's a viable option for guys that don't have a place to go. That's on a national platform, on an international platform. And other than that, really, I mean, if Tony doesn't start stepping up and making changes to creative, to the way that shows produced, to the continuity of the program itself, I mean, there's no point talking about it anymore because nothing's going to change.
The thing with Tony, he's not a stupid guy. He's a smart
Oh, he's
businessman.
not stupid.
So he knows, but what I'm saying is that people don't understand. This is the product that he wants. I guess you got to say he is a businessman, but he thinks about 5-star matches. He thinks about what Dave Meltzer is going to say. He thinks about that hardcore internet wrestling community, and they love AEW.
Yeah.
He'll tell you it's the best, it's the bee's knees, and all this stuff. So for him, that's all he cares about. He doesn't need to have a Bobby Lashley. He looks down on those kind of guys, is what I'm assuming, because he doesn't hire any of these stars. It's weird. So he thinks a little pipsqueak indie-esque guys are what people want to see. And he's cool with that. And I think he's cool with his hardcore base. I don't think he cares if the product grows as long as he gets a TV deal, gets some big Wembley shows. I think he's happy with 5-star matches and being praised by that WC.
And that's
because other than that, there's no other logic for it.
No, and there is.
Do that.
I mean, we go blue in the face, red in the face, purple in the face, arguing this. But the reality is, man, that's just. I think this is what AEW is going to be, unless something so dramatic happens.
Yeah, I think I heard a quote on one of the bloggers, and I can't remember who said it, so I won't take credit for it. But somebody, and this is probably the best one I've ever heard in wrestling in the last year. Tony Khan and Triple H are wrestling fans, hardcore fans. Vince McMahon is a businessman, and that's why you see the booking that you see.
Yeah,
NDS pipsqueaks.
Fair play. All right, brother man, I think it's time to introduce Chance's Corner. So this is a segment. It may not have anything to do with wrestling. It may have nothing to do with boxing. It may just be pop culture. So Mr. Chance Michaels, Chance's Corner, take it away, brother man. What do you got for us?
This is just a 1 minute in the corner, in the round. Just got to vent a little bit. Keep it short and sweet. Dave Grohl, I love you. You are a talented musician, one of the most talented musicians of our time. Great drummer, great singer, great songwriter.
And guitar player.
But you get on your high horse and you lecture us about morals, how to live, who to vote for, what should we believe in. And I'm fine with you doing that. That's your business. I don't care about that. You go out and impregnate a woman outside of your marriage. So, dude, you are a complete fraud. I had to bring that up. Another guy that does the same kind of thing on his moral high horse, lecturing us about religion, politics, how to live, what we should do, what we should vote for, is Perry Farrell. 65-year-old guy. He's out of his mind. He's fighting his bandmates on stage. I know you guys say, let's rock and roll, and that's cool. It is if you're not so preachy and thumbing your nose at half your audience. So Perry Farrell, Dave Grohl, you two guys are a bunch of frauds, and that's Chance's Corner.
There you have it, guys. Chance's Corner. This is first of many. So yeah, we'll keep them coming out to you. But I tell you what, Mr. Michaels, that was a hard one to listen because I'm a huge fan of Jane's Addiction and Porno for Pyros. And without Perry Farrell, there would have never been a Lollapalooza. But you're not wrong in anything you say. It's just hard to hear that some guys that you really enjoyed, are like that. And, it's
the funny thing about this is, and I've seen Foo Fighters live, and like I said, Dave Grohl, he's one of the most talented musicians ever. Like two of the biggest, he's been the biggest band ever in the 90s, and now he's one of the biggest band of Foo Fighters. Yeah. But the problem is that I've learned over the years, as I'm getting older, to separate the professional, like the musicians, the athletes, you separate them from the person they are off the stage or off the field. Most of these guys are like Dave Grohl. They're telling you, you're bad if you think this, if you believe that, you're all these things, and they go and knocking up women outside their marriage. The guy's a complete clown, not taking away from his talent. Same with Perry Farrell. He's a great singer. Well, he used to be. He's a great singer. He's looks hell of a performer. He's a hell of a front man, but they haven't made a good album in 25 years. They're a nostalgia act. But besides that, stop being so preachy. Stop telling us how to live, what to believe in, who to vote for when you clowns act like that. I don't get on here and say, vote for this person, believe in this God, you're a bad person. Like, they hate half of their audience, but they take their money willingly. To me, that's disgusting.
Honestly, brother, we all have our paths. We all have our journeys. You and I are so different.
Mm-hmm.
Not just in physical appearance, obviously, but just the way we think and everything. But we work so well together, right? So from that perspective alone, I mean, you have different views than I do.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't shape or change the dynamic of what we're trying
to do. But we don't get out here and preach. No, we don't thumb our nose at people.
Look, ultimately, right? I think I'll say this, before we end here. Samp&Chance, we have our own views. We have our own values. but we will never judge other people based on their views and values compared to ours.
Exactly. Yeah.
We don't like you, it's because you're an asshole, or you've done something to really piss us off. Right?
Like when I attack, I'm attacking him as a booker. Off the ring, he's a great guy. He's a great dad.
Yeah.
He's a cool guy. Like I'm just attacking his writing. I never take shots at these guys personally.
That's
right.
It. And
so that's
Absolutely.
the difference, right?
Yeah, and it sucks, right? Because I've seen Jane's
and he's Triple H is probably one of the best guys ever in wrestling because he doesn't do drugs, he doesn't drink, he doesn't cheat on his wife, he doesn't beat up his wife.
No.
He's a good friend. Like he's everything you'd want in a dad and a husband. But I'm just talking about creatively. So
for sure. All right, brother, man. So, that was awesome. I really enjoyed that. I think we had a really good flow. Everything was beautiful, guys. If you made it this far, make sure to hit that subscribe and like button. If you've come this far and you've heard everything, you gotta hit that button now. Come on. Come on, man. All right. I'm Bobby Sampson. He's Mr. Chance Michaels.
And in the words of the great AC/DC, those that download, like, and subscribe to the podcast, we salute you.
We do salute you. And guys, I've said this time and time again, and I'm going to say it again only because it has to be said every day so it sticks with you. Do not believe the hype of the negative people around you. Do not let them dictate what you're going to accomplish. Do not allow them to infiltrate your mind, your psyche, and your confidence. If you want it, go get it. There's enough people in this world that will support you. And ironically enough, the ones that support you aren't even the ones that are closest to you. So never give up fighting. Believe what you believe in and just be smart about it and treat everyone with respect. Samp and Chance are out.